Hey guys, I've got a new Vanguard video for today. This is going to be on, well, we'll finally be continuing the set 11 decks now that I got the rest of my stuff for my birthday, so we'll go over it. This is the new deck in the set 11. One of the two only, yeah, sorry. There's only really two new decks in 11. Well, there were the two encounter decks of Ezel and Vermilion. Those are technically older decks of older cards, so we won't count them. This is the Stoicheia deck that was in that set, and it is the Mythiarq deck. It's another Stoicheia dragon, which is nice, much like Flagberg and Maelstrom. However, this one's a little different than them. It's not the usual dragon type we'd see in Vanguard. This is more of a sea serpent almost. But yeah, let's get right into it. Of course, we'll start off with the starter. This is Mythiarq, Penguli Mako. It's like a little squid thing, which is kind of cute. It's based on one of those mini squids or mini octopuses with the tiny arms, kind of like the Nemo's one friend from the first movie. Yeah, like that. And of course, it's got the generic Overdress series starter effects, so we won't need to go over that. Next up, we've got Mythiarq Eldonrina. It's like a platypus fish thing. I think the idea behind these guys are that, well, since I believe in the lore, quite a bit of the Azu Nation was actually destroyed by Gizeh, it was sunk into the ocean, so a lot of the animals that used to be above ground, or not above ground, above the ocean, had to adapt to living in the ocean, which is why we'll kind of see weird fish animal hybrid things in this deck. So this is kind of like a platypus fish dolphin thing. I don't know. They're kind of cool looking, though. When this unit is rode upon by a grade 2 with Mythiarq in its card name, you call it to a rearguard circle. So, since it mentions being called to a rearguard circle after being ridden over, we will go over the rearguard effects. Now, its effect is only in the back row of the rear. If you have other rearguards with Mythiarq in its card name, if your other rearguard with Mythiarq in its card name was placed by your unit's ability this turn and your Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater, your front row rearguards in the same column as this unit get an extra 5k power. That is very nice. And that is not a once per turn, so if you can play multiple rearguards with Mythiarq in their names, you can actually stack the power up, which is nice. Especially if you have multiples of him in the back. The grade 2, it's almost like a manta ray, I think? Yeah, or a nurse shark? Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. It's like angel shark, because it's got a halo. Hello? That kind of makes sense. When this unit is rode upon by a grade 3 with Mythiarq in its card name. Oh, wait, no. I didn't go over the name yet. Mythiarq Luru Manta? Okay, so yeah, it is a manta, but also angel shark kind of hybrid. Okay. When this unit is rode upon by a grade 3 with Mythiarq in its card name, you call it to a rearguard circle. Again, much like the grade 1. The whole point of this deck is to have as many Mythiarq names on your field as possible. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have 3 or more units with Mythiarq in their card names, the Vanguard does count to that, so keep that in mind. You may soul charge one, then choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and that unit cannot intercept until the end of the turn. So that's pretty nice, as it can lock down some of your opponent's rear guards that they may want to intercept with during your turn. That is it for him. And onto the main boss of the deck, Mythiarq Luru Zuhul, I think? Yeah. That's the Sea Serpent Dragon. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to one grade 3 or less unit card from among them. Just had lunch. Call it to a rearguard circle and shuffle the deck. If you have 5 or more rearguards, your opponent chooses a card from their hand and discards it. So if you do have 5 or more units on the field when this effect goes off, you can make your opponent discard a card, which is nice. Now, that might not activate the first grade 3 turn, but probably with the 3 other copies you have in the main deck, it will go off at some point in the game. So, yeah, it's fine. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, Counterblast 1, choose one of your rearguards with Mythiarq in its card name. Return it to the hand. Choose up to one unit card with Mythiarq in its card name that is different from the card returned by this effect from hand, and call it. So, for example, you return this one, you can call, I don't know, this one, although there's better choices than that one to call. But that's basically how the effect works. Hit the camera there. Alright, of course, we've got 3 more copies of the main unit. The rearguard grade 3, this one is Mythiarq Alpirel. It's like a coral horse thing. Kind of cool. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have 3 or more units with Mythiarq in their card names, this unit gets an extra 5,000 power until the end of turn, then counterblast 1 and draw a card. That is pretty nice. It's a simple grade 3 to use, and it'll probably be the one you call off of the main grade 3's effect. So yeah. Of course, as this is a Stoicheia deck that can multi-attack, we gotta use him. Blue Artillery Dragon, Inlet Pulse Dragon, Dragon guy. Gotta mention Dragon 5 times in text. And of course, his effects are, at the end of the battle, this unit attacked a grade 3 or greater Vanguard. If it was the first battle of this turn, never mind, we don't go over that effect, because that is Flagberg specific, so no need for it. The only effect we'll be using of his is the last effect. At the end of the turn, if the total number of attacks this turn is 4 or more, put this unit into your soul and you draw a card. Very nice. The card you might draw should be able to help you your next turn, or help you survive your opponent's turn. Hopefully. That's kind of the whole point. Of course, we got 3 more copies of the grade 2. Here's kind of what I was talking about. This is a giraffe turtle thing. Sure, Mythiarq. Milum. Sure. I don't know. These names are kind of weird. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have 3 or more units with Mythiarq in their card names, this unit gets an extra 5,000 power until the end of turn, then Soul Blast 1. Choose one of your opponent's rearguards, and that unit can't stand during your opponent's next stand phase. And then its other effect is, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Mythiarq in its card name, you bind a rearguard with Mythiarq in its different card name from this unit, so any other Mythiarq card besides him, and call the card bound to this effect to rearguard. So, for example, let's say you have this out, you bind it from his effect, and then you call it again immediately. I believe that's how it works. Unless it has to be a completely different copy of it, I'm not too sure. But it essentially lets you use the on-place effects again of your units, which is very nice. Of course, 3 more copies of the main Grade 1. Here we have a rabbit sitting in a clam? Sure. Mythiarq Razor Aster? Yeah, Razor Easter? Sure, a Razor Easter. When this unit boosts a unit with Mythiarq in its card name, if your damage zone has 3 or more face-down cards and you did not countercharge this turn, you countercharge. Very nice that this deck got a countercharger right out of the gate. Some decks in Overdress don't get that luxury. So yeah, 4 copies of him. Now Mythiarq does have a promo that's in order. However, it was a sneak peek card, which I unfortunately did not go to. However, I don't think you necessarily need the order. It essentially just acts as 4 more copies of all your Mythiarq cards. So without the order, you just kind of have to be careful and protect your rear guards as much as possible, as there's a lot of effects that can retire right now. So if you feel like you absolutely need the promo order card, I'd say get it, but it's not necessary in my opinion. Of course, 4 of the Stoicheia Perfect Guards. We actually do have a order in here. This is Spiritual Body Condensation. You play it by paying Soul Blast 1. Choose a card with a grade equal to or less than your Vanguard from drop, call it to your rearguard circle, and it gets an extra 5,000 power until the end of turn. Nice and simple. It's like Monster Reborn from Yu-Gi-Oh! And this will help you get back things. It can even help you replay Inlet Pulses. It can help you get a Mythiarq card you need back onto the field. So yeah, it's a pretty nice card. Of course, we've got the non-effect crits, the Aquaforce style ones for Stoicheia. The effect crits of Stoicheia. Again, I'm kind of leaning away from the effect crits. They're not that useful, in my opinion, that much anymore, but hey, sometimes it might come in where you need to put it into Soul to get off Soul effects. So who knows? It's still useful. We finally got an Aquaforce style heal trigger for Stoicheia back in Festival Collection 2023. Yeah, so that's nice that we can finally have this, and it is definitely going to be used in my Flagberg and Maelstrom decks as well, which is very nice to finally have a proper heal for the aquatic decks in Stoicheia. And of course, we've got the effect draws. Now, you could also use the effect fronts, which I unfortunately do not have for Stoicheia, as this is a attack with a rearguard first, then attack with a Vanguard, replay a rearguard, and then kind of deck. So you'll usually be attacking with the Vanguard second. So fronts may be more useful here, but you also do want to see your pieces. So you could argue this where you can use fronts, heals, draws, and criticals. So you use all 4 types. So yeah, if you have them, I'd maybe say run all 4 types. Sure. However, since I don't have the fronts, we're going to be using this style of trigger lineup. And of course, to round off everything, we've got the Stoicheia Overtrigger. And that is it for the Mythiarq deck. It's a pretty cool one. It's actually not from the anime. It is from the manga version of the Overdress story, I believe. Or, well, actually, I think there's 2 Overdress mangas. There's one that does follow the anime characters, however, it's with a different story. And this one is from Youthquake, I believe, which features completely different decks entirely. And these are the first two of that manga to come out, and we'll be getting some more decks focused on that series much later. Since, well, Overdress, at least how it is right now, will be ending as of this Friday or / Saturday in Japan. So yeah, since the final episode is coming out. Now, I believe the format won't end, as Bushiroad did say. They won't be rebooting again. Let's hope they keep their word on that. I don't see them rebooting again, because I believe that'll make a lot of people very upset. So, yeah, that is it for Mythiarq. I hope you enjoyed this video.